Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk about hyperinflation in Germany after World War One. I wanted to give you a few examples of coinage and monies, give you an idea of how much money was changing at that time. You have to understand, after World War One, Germany had been ravished. And of course, in its earliest days, of course, you had various coins, and the mark was more or less like the dollar there. I want to show you a coin after World War One. This is from 1922. Of course, it has the eagle. And of course, let's see if I can do this well. It's 3 marks. Well, what's interesting about it, the coins that had preceded this had been silver. This is aluminum. Doesn't have any sound at all. Before long, it was worth nothing. And they kept adding to the amount to satisfy, because what happened was, since the money became somewhat worthless, they started printing more of it. And the more they printed, the less value it had. And by the following year, you had coins like this. Same on this side, eagle. But what have we here on the other side? It is 500 marks. 1923. Once again, made of aluminum. Then they dropped that altogether as the money became even more worthless. In fact, money started to be printed on paper. And what is rather amazing about these paper bills is the fact that they were being printed every day because the value was constantly changing. And the bills would be blank on one side, almost like monopoly money. And what have we here? $5 million marks. And let's take a look at it closer. What's the date? October 1923. It's dated. It's pretty frightening, because money would be printed in the morning, and within days it would have to be changed again because it had no value. It's pretty amazing to see this. It's pretty amazing to imagine this. What did this do to a country? Well, you know what it did to a country. Made things a lot worse. Things got really bad. France invaded Germany in 1924. And as the country went lower and lower and finally collapsed financially completely, it opened the way, especially once the Depression came in 1929, for someone to take over. We know who that was. We know what happened to Germany. So we always have to be very wary of things like this. And it's frightening to think about this whole thing about money and how worthless it was. Think about this. 500 marks. At one time, that was an amazing amount of money. 5 million marks. Holy cow. At one point, you could live like a king. But at one point, 5 million marks would be enough to buy a loaf of bread. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, but we've had it happen in other countries, and could happen in others as time goes on. For those of you who don't understand what hyperinflation is, this is a pretty good example. The more money you print, the less value it has. And as you can see in Germany, not only did the value change, but the whole country itself changed. And before long, it was in the grips of the control of a dictator who would unsettle the entire world.